Coming to you live at the new Canaan High School gym, Ian Nicholas alongside the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you the live action of some boys volleyball FCIAC semifinals. The number 2 seed, the new Canaan Rams, look to advance to their first FCIAC Championship game in program history, and they're going to have to beat the Trumbull Eagles, the 3 seed, for the second time this season. To do so, I'm honored to be joined by a good friend of mine and one of the best players this program has seen in recent memory. Out right now for the rest of the year with a leg injury, but helping me out, giving me a leg up in the booth right now, Gavin Bramlett. Gavin, you're a senior captain of his team. And I know you're trying to support the team the best you can, and now you're in the booth helping us out. Thanks so much for joining us, man. This should be a great game between these two.
No, it definitely should be. These are two great teams here. Trumbull's got the height advantage over New Canaan. That's no secret. But the key thing I want to look at is New Canaan's defense, because that's sort of where Trumbull struggles, and I think that's why we had the upper hand against them the last time we played.
So that was really the first close game New Canaan's played all year long. It was the one of 2 games that New Canaan has played and gone to 5 sets in. That was the first. The other was a loss to Ridgefield. But Trumbull, they're very well offensively. They've got some big kids, Gavin. You were pointing them out in the pregame, and they can really spike it down to earth.
Oh, they can. We saw in hitting lines, he's got his warm-up on. We don't know which number he is. But Trumbull's middle has been bouncing balls in the 10-foot line consistently, so that is definitely a scary look for these New Canaan kids.
Yeah, we believe that's number 14, Sage Gatling, who is on the bench right now, but hopefully he's healthy. He had a late-season ankle injury. He should be all right for this one between these two teams. We just heard that Darien defeated Ridgefield in the FCIAC semifinals at Darien High in 3 sets, so Darien officially returning to the FCIAC title game, and they will host the winner of this game, New Canaan and Trumbull, on Friday to determine who is the boys volleyball FCIAC champion. Darien, they've been rolling through a lot of teams this year, Gavin. They played New Canaan twice. They've beaten them both times in 4 sets. Obviously, this game is massive to get there, but what is the winning formula, in a sense, to knocking down the Blue Wave? They do so many things so well, but you've been able to knock a set on them a couple times, and you've seen both of those games.
So we took one set. We took the first time we played against them. That was an unfortunate game because we were missing our star libero, Connor Finnegan.
Yep.
First team all FCIAC, by the way. So congrats to him.
Yeah.
The key thing with Darien is they're not a deep team. They have 2 outsides that can bounce balls consistently, and a setter who can set them up every single time. But that's really it. They have a strong middle who can put up a block, but they really don't have any right side hitters. They don't really have any other middle hitters. So the ball. Well, their sets every single time are going to go to the outside, so you know where you need to put your block in order to beat them. It's just a matter of doing that consistently in order to get there.
We are about a minute away from game time, and Gavin breaking down the game plan for how to defeat Darien. The winner of this game will play Darien on Friday at the Blue Waves house. Again, it's the New Canaan Rams and the Trumbull Eagles, the 2 seed in the 3 seed. In the FCIAC tournament, both of them 15-3 this year. New Canaan had the tiebreaker over Trumbull heading into the tournament because of their win on April 30th on the road in 5 sets. And it should be a phenomenal effort. As you mentioned, the libero, the junior captain, Mr. Connor Finnegan, was named first team All-FCIAC alongside someone named Gavin Bramlett. Congratulations, Gavin, on being named All-FCIAC first team. Well earned. And then your teammate Connor Ho, a junior, was a second team all FCIAC as a setter, and then an honorable mention was the senior number 15 outside hitter Axel Bully. Tell me a little bit about those 2 guys before we get started, and Connor Ho and Axel Bully, and what they bring to New Canaan.
Well, the thing with Connor Ho is he started out playing his freshman year of high school, so he was like a strong junior varsity player to start.
Yep.
But I wasn't too sure going into this season if we would have a consistent setter because we didn't have a season last year.
Yep.
We didn't get a look at any of the guys returning. But I was really surprised when I saw Connor in preseason because him, Connor Finnegan, and Matt Homan were 3 guys who really grinded this offseason. They played club for Northeast, and they really just developed their skills really strongly during those off seasons. And then Axel Boley is a strong outside hitter. I remember seeing him playing on junior varsity, and I saw that he could jump really high. His hitting was good, but it wasn't quite as developed as it is now. But now his hitting's developed, it's strong, and he looks really good. So watch out for him on the outside. Watch
out for him indeed. Head coach Amy Warren going over to athletic trainer Diane Murphy, who will be retiring from New Canaan High School after 39 wonderful years of service after this athletic season. And now we're going to go through the starting lineups of the national anthem. So we'll take a break and see you after that. Ian Nicholas, Gavin Bramlett, and the rest of the NCTV 78 crew. We're going to be FCIAC semifinals between New Canaan and Trumbull.
Sage Gatling, middle. Brendan McGuire, outside. Hank Carlson, libero. And for your new Canaan Rams, Doug Gillespie, middle. Connor Ho, setter. Matt Homan, right side. Connor Finnegan, libero. Henry Lindbergh, middle. Axel Boley, outside. Dylan Corbin, outside. And the new Canaan Rams are coached by Andy Warren and assisted by Annie Bishop and Lauren Powers. Now will you please rise for our national anthem.
All right, we're ready for this one. New Canaan huddled up, going over the game plan, and Trumbull ready to get this underway. Their starting lineup includes Anthony O'Sullivan, number 7, their setter, number 14, Sage Gatling, their middle hitter, and number 30, Hank Carlson, their senior libero. You mentioned their libero, Carlson, and Gatling, their middle hitter, are two key players of his team, Gavin, for Trumbull.
Definitely are. Their libero, what'd you say his name?
Hank. It is Hank Carlson.
Hank Carlson, my bad. Hank Carlson and Anthony O'Sullivan actually played a little bit of club last year at my club, Mizuno East Volleyball Club.
Yep.
They played for the 17-2s team, so they really developed their skills. And there's Mr. Warren calling out the New Canaan chant, as he does before every single set. So watch out for that, too.
Oh, I hear him. As Connor Ho's going to get things going here from New Canaan. Here comes Gatling, and Trumbull is going to go up 1-0, and that is all talent from Gatling there, Gavin.
Yeah, you just didn't see Matt Holman or Henry Lindbergh pushing over on the block there, so he was able to tool him straight down.
So Trumbull with point number 1, thanks to Sage Gatling. They're going to make a quick substitution, and serving will be number 7, the senior captain setter, Anthony Sullivan for the Eagles. Popped up to Boley. Ho's going to set up Holman, the junior, with some touch. Bad bounce from O'Sullivan. And then from the back row, number 23, Brendan McGuire is going to make the play.
Yeah, if New Canaan wants to stay in this game, they can't lose on free ball kills from Trumbull. Dylan just needs to step up and take that ball, put it into a position so Connor can set up the hitters.
It's going to be O'Sullivan again for Trumbull. Ho pops it up. Holman to McGuire. McGuire makes the play. And then it meets the wrong side of the net from Nick Peskovitz. And New Canaan gets their first point of the evening. Just a misfire on that hit. Nothing you can really do about that.
Nah. You'll notice a little bit of timid playing from New Canaan's outsides because Trumbull's is tallest from their right side and middle, so it's hardest to hit over on there.
Axel Boley, the senior for the Rams, will serve. Here comes Gatling, and Gatling with the right hand, and he puts it in no man's land.
Yeah, New Canaan's got to be frustrated on that one. There's nothing they can really do there. No cover balls they can pick up on that.
And just like that, Trumbull goes back up 2, and number 2, Derek Zielinski, will serve, the senior. Zielinski gets it over to Dylan Cortman. Now here comes Holman. Holman gets the bounce off the net. Gatling has been calm, cool, and collected in the early stages of this game in the front row.
Yeah, definitely a hot start for Trumbull and Gatling. That's about 3 kills for him so far.
So Gatling makes the play. Trumbull now up 4-1 in the serve once again. Derek Zielinski with the 3-point lead. Zielinski puts it over.
Nice pass from Connor Finnegan.
Here comes Dylan Cortman. Good power, but Zielinski with a good response. And then McGuire is able to get it inbounds.
Just right through the block of Matt Holman and Henry Lindbergh, straight down the court. That's
Trumbull,
a good hit.
not only do they have power, Gavin, but the accuracy has been there so far.
That is key. You'll notice a lot of hits from the outside going straight to like the middle of the court in that 6th spot.
Trumbull now up 4. Zielinski another serve here from the New Canaan High School gym. Matt Holman has the power, but it's blocked up excellently by Gatling and McGuire, and Trumbull's got all the energy, up 5.
Normally you see a lot of the struggles from New Canaan with their serve receive. But that's not the issue right now. The issue is Trumbull's front row just being too tall and getting their blocks up and hitting too well.
Dylan Cortman can't put that one in play alongside the far sideline. And now down 6-1 as New Canaan cannot get anything going offensively.
Tough start for New Canaan. You know, they like to play a little bit timid when they get down like this, but that's not how they're going to win this game.
Zielinski serves, and it does not find the back line. So New Canaan gifted a point, catching a break, and looking to turn the momentum in their direction, as they trail 7-2 here in the opening set of the FCIAC semifinals. The winner will play Darien in the championship game on Friday. Here's Trumbull offensively. McGuire popped up by Boley to the ceiling. And was that one going to go out of bounds, or did Boley need to get a hand on it?
Nah, Boley got a good touch on it, but when it hits the ceiling, it just comes down too fast for Connor Finnegan to make a play on that ball. You'll see that's the issue with a lot of gyms in the FCIAC volleyball.
They don't cater to one of the more interesting sports in the county with the boys volleyball and girls volleyball.
No, they haven't given us stadium roofs yet.
But Matt Holman will give New Canaan a point as it bounces out of play. Henry Lindbergh will check out. Junior Doug Gillespie will check in on the front row, and Matt Holman, one of the young stars on this team, will serve. New Canaan down 8-3 to the 3-seed Trumbull. Holman to the libero, and a really strong hit. Brendan McGuire comes right down and makes the play.
Yeah, New Canaan just doesn't have a tall enough block to get up on that. McGuire just hits right around him.
So now to serve number 30, the libero of this team, the senior Hank Carlson. And now they're going to switch it up and move it to number 20, the senior captain Anthony Desabella. And Desabella cannot put it over the net. So New Canaan again gifted a point. 2 of their 4 points tonight have been off bad serves from Trumbull. Here's Dylan Cortman, the senior. Cortman also can't put it over. Just mental errors from both sides.
No, you definitely don't want to see those mental mistakes in a game this crucial.
Number 9 for Trumbull will check in. Nick Peskovitz checking out Derek Zielinski. And serving is McGuire, and a 3rd straight bad serve. It's just getting sloppy in the FCIAC semifinals right now. That one from McGuire.
You know, the thing is, when people see other people missing serves, they think they don't have to work too hard on theirs, so then they end up missing themselves. It's a game of monkey see, monkey do.
Oh, gosh. Gillespie with the serve. He finally gets one over. From the front row in the slam, Brennan Cutter, the sophomore middle hitter.
It's a strong hit right off serve receive. They just got a beautiful pass off the serve so they can set up their middles perfectly.
Cutter will check out, and Ben Leeds, number 28, the junior, comes in for Trumbull, who now leads by 6, 11-5 in the opening set. Looking to take the first here on the road, and Leeds will serve. Leeds puts it over to Dylan Cortman. Ho Gets it to Lindbergh, the senior captain. Back and forth here, slow moving. Here's Bowie from the outside.
Oh, a strong dig.
Trumbull with a strong response, though, too strong. Put out of play by Nick Peskovitz, and a well-earned point there from the Rams.
A nice little rally there. Axel had a nice hard hit, but senior Anthony DeBasella was able to get a touch on that.
Cutter will check back in for Leeds. Actually, both Leeds will check out, and a substitution for Trumbull. So here's Connor Ho, the all-FCIAC second-tier man.
Back and serve once. That's one full rotation in this set. A little miss set from Anthony O'Sullivan.
Here comes Holman, backpedaling to make the play with two hands. O'Sullivan met at the net, and it's not enough of a response for New Canaan as Nick Peskovitz gets it over and earns the Trumbull point.
Yeah, Matt Holman just wasn't able to get a strong enough block on that, so their outside was able to tool him right off.
Kieran O'Sullivan, the sophomore, will check in for the senior captain, Anthony DeSabella. And serving will be Anthony O'Sullivan. Connor Finnegan puts it up. Here comes Holman. It's blocked up at the net. The libero comes under it. Henry Lindbergh gets a hand on it. Holman backpedals, cross court, and a nice kill for Matt Holman.
Definitely a nice hit. You saw a lot of soft blocks on that play, so that's when the ball hits off the blocker's hands, but instead of going out of bounds or straight down, it just goes like back right over them to their passers. Nice hit by Holman to close the point, though.
Going to get a second look at that kill from Holman as Bowie will serve in just a second. Go back to play here. Here's Finnegan. Holman will wind up, and it pays off. Holman with back-to-back kills for New Canaan, trying to turn the tide.
One of the things you got to watch out for with Connor Ho is he's such a diverse setter. He can set fast, he can set in different spots, and just give his hitters the best chances that he can to put the ball straight down. So that was a little bit of a quicker set to the right side there, so Matt Holman was able to put that down easily.
Bowie will serve. O'Sullivan's in a bad spot, and it will go out of play off of Trumbull. New Canaan now with 3 straight points, starting to rally. Trumbull trying to keep the momentum here. They brought a good crowd of parents and relatives from up the state.
Trumbull may even have more parents than we do.
And Bowie can't get it over the net. Trumbull doing everything in their power in this road matchup to try to advance and get in the championship game. They have a 4-point lead. Zielinski will serve. Possession back for Trumbull. Ho sets up Holman. Holman blocked up.
Nice,
and it's out of play.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, a tool is when the hitter hits the ball off the blocker's hands, so it either goes out of bounds or just shanks off of him. And so the hitter is able to get the point.
So for the first time tonight, it will be Connor Finnegan to serve. Finnegan pops it up to McGuire. O'Sullivan under it. McGuire blocked at the net.
Nice pickup. Oh.
And a violation on Trumbull. Having any idea what the call was there.
It was a net violation on their outside, McGuire. Nice pickup by Hank Carlson on that point. It's a shame to see your players get in the net.
Finnegan will serve.
Nice serve, nice pass by McGuire.
And Gatling cannot
Straight
pin. He's trying to get a little too fancy with that one, Gavin, and he just couldn't put it where he needed to right in play.
Yeah, you like to see your middle trying to cut to the corners, because if they hit straight, they're going to hit right into the blockers right in front of them. Just puts a little bit too far to the cross on that one.
Finnegan pops it up. O'Sullivan's under it. Here comes McGuire. McGuire, a miscalculation, and he hits it downward. And New Canaan has tied it up here in set number 1 at 13 apiece. And a timeout will be called. Timeout called by Nicole Tromelin, her first of the first set. What have you liked from New Canaan right now, Gavin, to rally back and tie it up for the first time?
Well, they're not playing as timid as they were to start, so that's good of them. They've been hitting a little bit harder. I guess the connection between Connor Ho to his hitters has been picking up nicely. You've seen a lot more kills from Matt Holman on the right side, which is nice. A lot of more quick sets. And Trumbull just hasn't been putting up a strong enough block, so we've been getting like a lot of tools on that. Both teams have been having really strong serve receive, though.
They have, and Holman, as you mentioned, he's been warming up as we look at the highlights here. Trumbull not going to go away quietly. They've certainly got the offensive firepower to keep it a game here in game number 1, set number 1.
Most definitely, as we've seen them do so in these last few points. Just a few errors on Trumbull and a few great hits by New Canaan allows them to catch up.
New Canaan looking to swing the momentum permanently in their favor for the remainder of the set and pick up this win. Here's Finnegan. Finnegan gets it over. Bad hit. McGuire nearly tumbles into his bench. O'Sullivan is going to save Trumbull. Here's Cortman from the far side with 2 hands. O'Sullivan will find McGuire. It's blocked.
Sets out, so Connor Finnegan's going to take the second ball.
Homan right to the back row. Beautiful hit from Homan and a response from O'Sullivan. Ho finds Homan again. Homan finds the sweet spot, and New Canaan will take its first lead of the game. Upset number 1.
A nice cross shot right around the block. He was able to hit the inside hand, and just the ball went straight down.
So New Canaan up 14-13. Finnegan to serve once again. Strong response from New Canaan. Here comes McGuire. It's blocked. Homan and Gillespie, the juniors. And Homan on fire right now.
Oh, definitely. You're able to see him reaching over on that block, so he's able to get his hands to touch the ball on their side of the court, causing the ball to go straight down on them.
You got to love a player who wears his emotions on his sleeve, too. Matt Homan.
Oh, definitely.
He will not hide it.
Volleyball is a very emotional sport.
Homan tries to make another big play. It's blocked up well by Trumbull. Here he is again with that left hand. O'Sullivan under it. Here comes Gatling. Gatling blocked, bouncing backward. Another New Canaan point. They're up 2.
Nice, strong heads-up play by Homan there. He's able to see a little misset and just put the ball back on their side.
So now 16-13 your score. New Canaan up 3. Finnegan on a roll with his serves as New Canaan looks to take set number 1 here in the FCIAC semifinals. That one, though, miscalculated, a little too strong. Trumbull will get it back as Cutter will check in for Gatling. And the serve will be the libero, Hank Carlson, the senior, number 30. Carlson pops it up just over the net. Ho comes back. Cortman off his back foot.
Trumbull thought that ball was actually outside the antenna. Oh, and the ref's calling it, yep. So Connor Ho just set him a little bit too far outside, and the ball is supposed to go through the antennas onto the other side of the court. So.
Oh, so that's going to be a violation on New Canaan. It should be a Trumbull point. Now the refs are going to talk it over in the middle to try to confirm the call.
Yeah, shouldn't be much of a conversation. The line judge is just going to explain to the head ref what happened there, because it's hard for the head ref to see that from that angle up there.
Angle. Well said, Gavin.
Normally we had teachers be the line judges this season, or in most seasons, but this season we haven't had any. So it's been a lot of coaches and player judgments helping the refs out.
In the big-time game, they bust out all the stops, make sure that they get all the calls right, as the winner will advance to play Darien on Friday in the FCIAC Finals. Heck, even Anthony O'Sullivan's going to go over to the ref and try to get the clarification. So the point will not go to Trumbull, but they will be serving still. 16-14 your score, New Canaan in the lead. Here comes Homan. Homan just gets it over.
Nice.
New Canaan back up 3.
Able to tip it right over the block there, and Hank Carlson just can't get to it in time.
See if we can get a second look at that one from Matt Homan, who is giving the Rams the spark they need here in the opening set.
Something Homan's really gotten good at this year, just knowing when to hit, when to tip, when to roll a shot. His IQ just skyrocketed this season.
O'Sullivan came in flying, and even with his height, excuse me, not O'Sullivan, number 25, Kieran O'Sullivan. Well, they look alike, so
they do.
The brothers.
Are they brothers? Do we know that?
Well, one's a sophomore, one's a senior. They're both gingers, and they look very alike.
Well,
so you know what, Gavin? I'm going to chalk it up to siblings. That one will go over the back line. It's another Trumbull point.
Another missed serve from New Canaan.
Trumbull still within 3. Now serving number 20, the captain, Anthony Desabella.
So we have Desabella checking in for O'Sullivan as he goes back row.
And another bad serve. New Canaan gets point number 19 of set number 1. 6 points away from going up 1-0 against the Trumbull Eagles. Dylan Cortman will serve, the senior. Cortman just gets it over. O'Sullivan up to McGuire, and McGuire right in between Finnegan and Cortman gets the kill.
Just a nice cross shot to the corner there. No one on New Canaan's there to pick up the ball, and the block can't get there.
Trumbull back to within 3, trying to keep their chances alive here in the middle of set number 1. It will be McGuire to serve. Finnegan pops it up. Here comes Boley from the outside, and Boley with the kill, and he's living it up.
That was a strong hit from Axel. You can really judge on how it's not as much how good of a hitter is by how close to the net they can hit the ball in the court. But Axel hit that one about mid-court there, so that's a strong hit.
Here's Doug Gillespie with the serve as New Canaan nabs their 20th point of a set. Too strong a hit from number 9, Nick Peskovitz. Make it point number 21. 4 more away for New Canaan to win the opening set. Serving once again Gillespie. McGuire gets under it. Here comes Cutter. Cutter blocked. O'Sullivan with the touch and the follow-up, and a point for Trumbull thanks to Anthony O'Sullivan.
Just a nice heads-up play. He's able to recognize that ball off the block and put it down. No one on New Canaan's there to pick up the tip.
Cutter will check in, and Ben Leeds will serve in an excellent back and forth opening set here from New Canaan High. The live coverage being brought to you by NCTV 78 as Homan tries to keep it alive. Finnegan will almost get it over.
Almost. You're able to play the ball off the ceiling, or if it hits anything on the ceiling, any basketball hoops, any tilings or anything, you can play it off.
It went right through the hand of Boley, and then Holman tried to keep it alive, and Finnegan with the effort to no prevail. That one over the back from Leeds. New Canaan now 3 points away from winning the opening game, as Cutter will come back in for Trumbull. Maybe he won't, just dapping up Leeds before he hits the bench.
Not quite his time to check back in.
Not just yet. Connor Ho.
Back in serve 1.
Looking to close it out here in the first set. Here comes the star, number 14, Gatling. And I'm going to say that one did get the far sideline. Gatling gets the point for Trumbull.
Yeah, watch Gatling hitting from the outside when New Canaan's in serve 1. So that's when Connor Ho is serving. You'll see Gatling hitting from the outside, not the middle position.
Coach Nicole Tremelin trying to do everything she can to switch it up and execute the perfect game plan. Holman with the kill almost. It goes off the top of the ceiling, though, and it's a violation on Trumbull.
Yeah, so that is the one rule with the ceiling. So if it hits off anything on the ceiling, goes on to the other side of the court.
Yep.
It's the other team's point. If it comes back on your side, you can play it.
2 points away from an opening set victory for the Rams. Axel Boley now to serve. A bad hit will go in between the hands of Zielinski, but McGuire gets it over. Ho sets up Holman. Holman with the kill.
Able to tool Gatling straight down.
Head coach Amy Warren is loving it, and the other head coach, Nicole Tremelin, is going to call her second time out of the set, 1 point away from losing the opening set. And we're going to go through some of the latest highlights now. Gavin, why don't you take us through what New Canaan has been doing so well since the last Trumbull timeout?
Certainly, certainly.
Just queuing it up. Thanks to the great work of our replay man, Austin Platt. Take us through these ones, Gavin.
All right, so we have a free ball coming over the net. So Connor Finnegan's able to get a nice pass up to Connor Ho to set up our hitters. Here you have another free ball. So New Canaan's really looking to capitalize when Trumbull's not sending anything too aggressive back over the net. Connor Ho can go anywhere he wants on the set. He sets up Holman, and Holman's able to put it down.
All right, so off the second time out of the set from Nicole Tremelin. Axel Boley is going to look to close it out and get New Canaan the first of hopefully 3 set wins today to advance to the FCIAC semifinals, where they would be playing their arch rival, the Darien Blue Wave. New Canaan has played Darien twice this year, once here at home, once on the road, and both times they lost in 4 sets. The whistles blow and play is ready to resume. Will New Canaan win set number 1? Here's Gatling. Gatling with a great hit, and point number 20 for Trumbull.
Just a strong tip. He kind of grabbed that ball and threw it back down to earth on that one.
Yeah, he did.
New Canaan still got a few set points here to close it out.
Zielinski to serve. Finnegan pops it up. Ho to Homan. And does it get the back line?
Are we calling a touch?
Yes, it does. New Canaan, it just deflects off a Trumbull player. And the Rams will take set number 1. 25-20 is your score. And New Canaan will go up 1-0 in this game. Gavin, how big is it to win the opening set of a game with these big implications?
It's huge. It just puts the pressure off just a little bit. But that's actually what hurt New Canaan in the game against Darien. They had such a good first set that they took their foot off the gas in the next set. Darien was able to close the door, and then when it's tied 1-1, it just erased the 3 sets. So having the slight lead is good, but you don't want to lose your tenacity going into this next set.
No, you don't. Every set matters. Really doesn't matter what happened in the last one. Ian Nicholas, Gavin Bramwett, the senior captain star of the volleyball team, joining me on the call here tonight. New Canaan looking to advance to their first FCIAC Championship ever. This is the 4th year for Coach Amy Warren at the helm. You've been with her throughout all 4 years, Gavin. Her first year as a varsity coach was your freshman year, if I'm not mistaken, as the head coach. And how important has she been to building this program back up into really a team that can compete with Darien and obviously with Trumbull and Ridgefield as one of the powerhouses here in Fairfield County?
You know, Warren's been great in building up our program these last 4 years, but it's really a whole community effort.
Yeah.
Because volleyball is an interesting sport, as in we don't know who's going to play the next season. We don't know who's going to play next season right now.
Yep.
We don't really have like a good idea of like what the team's going to look like in 1 or 2 years, as you do with other sports like lacrosse and football. So we're a little bit blind going into it. So it's really on the players to take it amongst themselves, as you see Connor Finnegan, Connor Ho, and Matt Homan have done in the off-season, playing club, just working on the skills themselves. Because a lot of volleyball players in the FCIAC will tell you that FCIAC volleyball isn't the best competition for them. It's really about club volleyball. That's where they love to play. That's where they shine. And then the FCIAC is just what they play as they have to for their sport, for their high schools.
Yeah, but then you do have those players like Connor Finnegan and Connor Ho, 2 juniors, who have really dedicated themselves to this program and prove that they're not just passers-by in one door out the other. They're going to play, and they're going to give it their all, regardless of what year it is or what team surrounds them. And that's really great to see. And I know you like to see it, too. I know you are always on the recruiting trail of sorts, trying to get every guy to try to sign up. But those are some of the guys that you really know you are going to count on.
Oh, yeah. I know I could trust those guys going into the season. But before I knew that they had gained so much great skills during club season, we were blind going into it. It's scary going into the season, not knowing how it's going to be. But, you know, we always know we have Warren who's going to coach us up and develop our guys as we have to in order to compete with teams like Darien and Staples and Ridgefield and Trumbull. Another great player who we haven't seen play tonight, George Radoslavo. He's been great for us at middle this year. He's never played. This is his first season. And Warren's been able to coach him up great.
Let's see if we will see George Radoslavo check into this game. New Canaan rolling with the lineup right now of Connor Ho, Henry Lindbergh, Matt Homan, Axel Boley, Doug Gillespie, and Dylan Cortman. And then we've also seen plenty of the libero who will check back in, Connor Finnegan. Meanwhile, Trumbull has number 25, Kieran O'Sullivan, number 9, Nick Peskovitz, number 14, Sage Gatling, number 7, Anthony O'Sullivan, number 1, Brennan Cutter, and number 23, Brendan McGuire, the senior captain. That is their lineup alongside their libero, number 30, Hank Carlson, to begin set number 2. Again, New Canaan took the opening set, 25-20. They need to win 2 more of them to advance to the FCIAC Championship game in 2 days at Darien High School.
All right, so we'll be seeing Nick Peskovitz at the outside and Kieran O'Sullivan at the right side for this to open the set.
Connor Ho is going to get that point. It's a violation on Trumbull. What's the official call there? It looks like Trumbull's extremely confused.
Yeah, so I think the call there is the ball was still on New Canaan's side of the court. When Gatling went up to put that ball down, it was still in New Canaan's possession. So Gatling wasn't allowed to touch that ball. He's not allowed to touch it until the 3rd hit.
Kind of reminds me of a goaltend in basketball.
A little bit,
Can't get it when it's up there and it's not playable in a sense. Here's Gatling looking to make up for his previous error. Ho over the Boley. Boley with 2 hands. McGuire bops it to his left. Over to Anthony O'Sullivan with 2 hands. Ho to Holman. Under it
Nice pickup by Carlson.
O'Sullivan from the outside, and the younger of the O'Sullivan brothers is going to get the kill to even it up at 1-1 early in set number 2.
Yeah, nice hit from him there. Dylan Corman just wasn't quick enough to get to that one in the back row.
So it will be Zielinski to serve. Good response from Cortman. He gets it over, and Gatling just too much height, and he bats it in the wrong direction.
Yeah, miss hit on the breakfast ball. So a lot of times on serve receive or on some hits, the hit is so hard that the passers will pass the ball a little overpass, and then the front row is just able to put it down. Gatling not able to do it that time, though. It is a great feeling when you get one of those overpass kills, though.
And then Gatling again trying to make the play in the middle. And once again, it falls short of the net as New Canaan goes up 3-1, and Boley will continue to serve for New Canaan. And now Trumbull is going to get that kill there, even it up a little bit at 3-2.
A nice tip-off serve receive from Gatling. Nice pass from their back row, and they're back in it.
Popped up by Finnegan. Ho over the Cortman. O'Sullivan under the net, and he couldn't get there. That was a tough ball to hit.
Yeah, nice hit from Corman. Gave Carlson a little bit of struggle there on the trying to dig that one up. Nice serve from Finnegan.
Here comes McGuire with the right hand. Bowie gets under it. Homan, the left hand to the back row to Zielinski. Now the younger O'Sullivan, and he's able to nick the back line as Trumbull gets their third point of the second set. A good back and forth brewing, just like we had through the majority of set number 1 between these two teams.
Now we got Debasella checking back in for Kieran O'Sullivan going back row. He's had some struggle serving in the first set. Has no trouble there.
Ho up to Homan, and he's blocked up, but he just gets it over as the block will bring the ball down to Trumbull's side of a court. New Canaan their 5th point of the set.
Yeah, McGuire's not able to push over the net on that block. Great hit from Homan.
Now Homan will serve after his great hit.
Bit of an overpass from Carlson. New Canaan has some struggle picking it up.
And they struggled to pick up that behind the back hit from Finnegan. Neither Ho nor Gillespie able to make the play as Trumbull makes a substitution, putting in Peskovitz and taking out Zielinski. A great back and forth, 5-4, New Canaan in the lead in the second set. Ho, Gillespie blocked up, and Trumbull ties it up for the first time since it was 1-1 here in set number 2. McGuire back to serve. McGuire up, and it does get the back line. Trumbull finally gaining energy on the court, on the sideline, and they take the lead by 1.
Yeah, Trumbull's bench got a little bit of momentum after that one.
And that they could use trying to tie this at 1-1. McGuire over to Cortman. Ho is going to get it outside to Cortman. It bops off the shoulder of Zielinski, and Boley smartly does not play it as it goes out of bounds.
Carlson tried to be a little cheeky there, setting that ball back over on the second hit, but he just put a little bit too much power on that one.
Dylan Cortman now to serve.
Axel Boley back in the front row.
Cortman over to the captain. Back to Cortman. Ho sets it up to Boley.
Off the hands of the blocker.
With some deft touch, a really solid play from Nick Peskovitz.
Yeah, Connor Ho just couldn't get to that one quick enough. He's got to watch out for those tips.
Trumbull goes back up 7-6, looking to win their first set here in the FCIAC semifinals. Trumbull defeated the 6th seed in the tournament, Greenwich, 3-0 on Monday to make it here.
Nice serve receive from Axel.
Boley looking to do it all himself, and it's blocked up by Gatling and O'Sullivan. Trumbull extends the lead to 2.
That's really where you see the height advantage on Trumbull's right side. That's why I've been avoiding them a little bit. So New Canaan's going to struggle when Holman's in the back row here.
Ben leads to serve for Trumbull. Finnegan puts it up. Here's Boley from outside. Boley, a good hit that bounces off of Gatling's hands. New Canaan, their 7th point of the set, and they will sub in Henry Lindbergh for the libero, Connor Finnegan.
So Doug Gillespie's going to stay in for 1 point back row. As soon as New Canaan loses his point, Connor Finnegan's going to check back in.
Let's hope that's not for a while as Gillespie serves, and then an excellent kill from Nick Peskovitz. No chance. Cortman makes the play on that. Trumbull goes back up by 2 as Anthony O'Sullivan will serve the captain. Cortman makes the play for New Canaan. Boley again from the outside, and it's blocked up by Gatling and the younger O'Sullivan Kieran. Those two have been dangerous on the outside.
Oh, definitely. These O'Sullivan brothers really locked down the right side, and Gatling definitely helps them out, putting up strong block up.
Amy Warren, New Canaan's head coach, will use her first time out of the game as Trumbull has taken the 3-point lead here in the second set, 10-7. What has Trumbull improved on, Gavin, in this second set, as we'll go through the highlights, compared to set number 1?
Well, Trumbull's definitely capitalizing on New Canaan, as New Canaan's Matt Homan is in the back row. So Connor is forced to go to the outsides a little bit more, which is unfortunate, as you see here. Oh, no. So Trumbull's been putting up a strong block on the right side, so it's just difficult for Axel or Dylan to put up a strong hit.
And some really good back-and-forth rallies here in this second set, and Trumbull, with their offensive firepower, has been able to win them.
Mm-hmm. See a nice strong tip from Gatling there, just right around the block.
So we mentioned that Greenwich was the loser in the FCIAC quarterfinal game to Trumbull 2 days ago. New Canaan defeated number 7 Fairfield Ludlow 3-0 here on Monday, which was, I believe, your first game back watching the guys, right?
Yep, I came back. Coach Warren put me in to start in that game. It was great. I got to stand for the national anthem and hear my name called one last time. The refs were generous enough to let me check out before any of the playing started. But yeah, just nice to be back in the gym.
Definitely, and the energy here as great as it's been in quite some time for some boys volleyball. And the energy is being provided for Trumbull by Gatling and Kieran O'Sullivan. Another great block on the hit from Boley.
Yeah, if New Canaan wants to pick it up here, they got to turn up on their serve receive. Typically, you want to get a nice pass to right where Connor Ho is standing right there, so we can set up any of his hitters in any position that he wants. Right now, he's forced to go to the outsides. Trumbull knows that, and that's why they're putting up such strong blocks. Anthony
O'Sullivan continues to serve for Trumbull, and that's another point for the Eagles as they have their biggest lead of the second set of 5.
Yeah, New Canaan's service sleeve was strong in the first set, but now it's starting to take a little hurt here.
Dylan Cortman puts it up just over, and Gatling with the heads-up play in the middle. 13th point of the second set for Trumbull. New Canaan continues to search for some rhythm here in set number 2. Ho comes behind. This time Boley gets it over O'Sullivan and Gatling. McGuire to the middle of the court.
Nice dig by Matt Homan.
And blocked up is Boley, and Dylan Cortman can't get there in time as Trumbull is starting to run away with this second set. They're up 7.
Yeah, just not good coverage from the New Canaan back row on that block.
Coach Amy Warren trying to be calm, cool, and collected along the sidelines, knowing how early it is in this game. Lindbergh gets it over for the Rams. Here's Kieran O'Sullivan. Ho puts it over himself, and it's a violation on Trumbull. What happened there?
The ref called a lift, so I guess Gatling just contacted the ball with his open palm open to the sky, so that's not allowed in the FCIAC play.
Not at all. Connor Hull will serve for New Canaan as they look to break this big run of Trumbull. The Rams trail 6, 14-8 in the second set. O'Sullivan to his brother, Kieran. And another violation. Is it the same call on Kieran that was called on Gatling? It's a little different.
Different call. So that's a double. So if you set the ball and the ball has any spin on it, or the ref hears any like miss hits so that your hands don't contact the ball at the same time, one hand gets it before the other, that's called a double.
And another big play for New Canaan. Henry Lindbergh. And the front of the net, the senior captain coming up big.
Able to put down the overpass calmly. That's a great veteran play by Henry.
Lindbergh, both a soccer star and volleyball star here at New Canaan High School, battled an early season injury and has come back strong for New Canaan ever since. Here comes Kieran O'Sullivan, and no response from Lindbergh as he knows that one's on him.
You know, Henry's at a little disadvantage here. Middles are supposed to be some of the tallest guys on the court, but right now Henry might be I think he's only taller than Connor Finnegan right now. It just goes to show that height doesn't matter as much in volleyball.
Finnegan under that one from Peskovitz. Here's Holman, cross court, and it bounces past the Trumbull bench and out of play off of the Eagles. New Canaan earns their 11th point of the second set. They're still down 4, looking to rally back.
Yeah, McGuire a little bit frustrated on that one. Hit right off his arms.
Axel Boley now will serve for New Canaan, the senior, all FCIAC honorable mention. Here's Gatling with good touch. Whistle is blown.
May have been an inadvertent whistle. Oh, New Canaan in the net.
Violation on New Canaan. As Cutter will check back in for Trumbull, in for Gatling. And the serve will be Carlson for the Eagles. They're only 9 points away from tying this game up at 1-1 and winning set number 2. Let's see what he can do. Popped up by Boley. Here comes Holman. Holman, too much sauce, and Trumbull with point number 17.
Yep, New Canaan has been struggling on the serve receive here, so Axel's not able to pass that ball to where he wants it, so Connor O can set up his hitters. A little set off the net, and Holman just puts too much power on that one.
Boley, Ho, Cortman blocked up. Lindbergh
nice cover
keeps
ball by
it up.
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh now just gets it over. McGuire responds, a good rally. Holman looking for the kill, he's blocked. Cortman tries, fails to keep it alive. Trumbull, excellent rally.
New Canaan's been picking up the cover balls, they just haven't been able to put them in play as much. Trumbull's doing a great job getting their blocks up and over the net.
Again to serve will be the libero, Carlson. Holman crossed the court to O'Sullivan. The other O'Sullivan comes in. Ho to Holman. Holman tries to get it to the back row. He does. Here's McGuire. McGuire, just enough power and touch. Trumbull now up 8 here in the second set with point number 19.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of smart plays here. McGuire not being the power hitter he needs to be, or he doesn't need to be a power hitter. Just tipping it over the net and getting the point for his team there.
Again to serve, Hank Carlson. 6 points away from a number 2 set victory. Cortman from the far side, he's blocked, and that one's gonna go to Trumbull. Trumbull, point number 20. They're all smiles under those masks. And a timeout will be called by Coach Amy Warren. Her second of the set. The Rams desperately need to talk things over here. Gavin, what's your advice for this squad right now?
Well, their serve receive has not been as good as it was in the first set. Our passers haven't been able to get up balls as they should to Connor. So we've been struggling getting Connor to set up our hitters as efficiently as he could be. And Trumbull just putting up a great block. You got to hand it to them. They're getting their hands on every single hit and forcing New Canaan to make a lot of tricky plays off cover balls.
Let's get some highlights from the second set. It's been a great one for Trumbull as they look to tie this FCIAC semifinals matchup at 1-1. Bring us through it, Gavin.
All right, there we had a strong hit from Axel, just able to get right through the hands of the blocks. And a strong hit by Trumbull's right side. Dylan Rush wasn't able to put his hands on that one. Nice pass by Dylan. Strong hit by Axel, but straight into the block. And you just see the strength of Trumbull's block in these highlights. Their right side, that's where they're tallest, that's where they're strongest. Can't get any hits from our outsides over there.
20-11 to score. New Canaan would have to pull off a bit of a miracle here in the late portion of this second set to try to steal it from Trumbull. They're only 5 points away from winning it. Off a timeout, Holman is blocked at the net.
Picked up by Lindbergh.
Holman again, blocked again! McGuire and Cutter providing excellent presence in front of the net for Trumbull.
Trumbull's block has just been excellent this second set. They're getting their hands on every hit, and New Canaan has no answer on the coverage.
They're going to roll the ball back to the star server right now, the libero, Hank Carlson. The Eagles 4 points away from winning set number 2 here on the road. As the 3 seed up against the 2 seeded New Canaan Rams. Hoda Holman, a violation. Did he step out of play?
Nah, that was just a double. So same call as we saw earlier on Trumbull. Connor Ho just had a little mishap there. An untimely mishap as Trumbull goes up to 22.
Trumbull very close. 3 points away. Here comes Lindbergh with some windup. O'Sullivan cross court, and at the violation on the younger O'Sullivan.
Same violation. Sullivan just didn't get his hands on that ball at the same time, had a little rotation. The ref saw that and calls a double.
Lindbergh checks out for Doug Gillespie. Finnegan will serve for the Rams. Anthony O'Sullivan under it. McGuire to the back row with a beautiful kill is him.
Yeah, he's able to catch the back line there. New Canaan just nowhere to be seen.
23-12 is your score here in the second set. Ian Nicholas, Gavin Bramwett, and the rest of the NCTV 78 crew bringing you the live action of this one. Here's the serve from the captain, Anthony Desabella. Trumbull thought it was over before it wasn't, and then Peter McGuire is going to put point 24 to bed.
Oh, yeah, that was just a beautiful setup by New Canaan. Allows McGuire to put the ball back over the net with ease.
That one just over the net. Holman into his own bench to make the play. And Cortman can't put it in play. Trumbull with a dominant second set. The energy is there for the Eagles. It's tied up at 1-1 here from New Canaan High as Trumbull is going to win set number 2, 25-12. It was like night and day for Trumbull between those sets. Completely different team.
Definitely. Trumbull just came to life in that second set, and they took a lot of New Canaan's energy there. This is not the same New Canaan team we saw in that first set. We know what they're capable of. Let's see if they can pull it around in the third set.
And if you're Coach Amy Warren in that huddle right now for New Canaan, what are the big things you're preaching?
I think she's saying go back to the basics, go back to what we're good at, keep playing aggressive. So what, Trumbull's getting a good hit up. We just got to play a little smarter, place our balls a little bit more accurately, watch for the blocks and try to hit around them or tip over them. And on coverage balls, we just got to, I think she's saying that they got to get them up just in the middle of the court because New Canaan's kind of been all over the place on picking up those balls off Trumbull's blocks.
New Canaan looking to advance to their first ever FCIAC Championship game. In 2019, they were bounced in the semifinals of the FCIAC tournament. And then they were also bounced in the state tournament. Let's look at the bracket overall of the FCIAC tournament right now. As we mentioned, Darien and Ridgefield at the top of the bracket. Darien defeating the Tigers earlier today on the road. 3-0. If you want to watch that game or the full game, DAF Media live streamed it. You're watching 2C New Canaan up against 3C Trumbull. New Canaan looking to advance to play Darien on Friday. All the teams in the FCIAC made the tournament, so there were qualifying round games. You see the semifinal games. It was New Canaan Ludlow on Monday and Trumbull Greenwich. And Trumbull and New Canaan getting those wins. And that's been the FCIAC tournament so far. It's been a really good one. And this is probably going to be the best game of the tournament overall between these two teams. Gavin, so evenly matched, but yet New Canaan and Trumbull, very different playing styles. What'd you say?
Definitely. So Trumbull just got most of their power hitters in the front row. They have a good defense, but I'd say it's not as strong as New Canaan's. What you're seeing is just domination from Trumbull on the right side. They're blocking all of our outside hits, getting strong hits on the right side. And the senior Gatling has been absolutely lights out from the middle. You're seeing Trumbull really feeding off the energy they're getting from their hitters, and New Canaan hasn't had a response in that second set.
So back here with the FCIAC Semifinals live stream at New Canaan and Trumbull. Make sure to like and subscribe to NCTV 78 for more action. If you're a New Canaan athletics fan, we'll have a ton of boys and girls across live streams for you in the coming days. And DAF Media will be live streaming the FCIAC Championship game for boys volleyball on Friday. So make sure to like and subscribe to them as Connor Ho gets a bit of luck there on the serve, and New Canaan will take point number 1 of set number 3.
Yeah, a bit unlucky for the opposing team whenever a server serves and the ball just rolls right over the net straight down.
Ho again. New Canaan up 1-0. Anthony O'Sullivan, the Gatling just enough. To the back row, it's Cortman. Cortman to Ho. Ho gets it over for the Rams.
Carlson sets up.
And that one way too strong. It hits the second A, but they're going to say it's a deflection off New Canaan, and Trumbull gets the point from number 9. Nick Peskovitz, the backline judge on Trumbull's side, makes that call. So Trumbull ties it up at 1-1 here in set number 2. Set number 3.
Now we have Anthony O'Sullivan serving in the back row. Trumbull will have 3 hitters and 3 strong blockers facing off against this New Canaan lineup.
O'Sullivan, one of the 3 Trumbull captains, as Connor Ho tries to plead his case to the referee, trying to get a bit of a clarification. Now Coach Amy Warren will say a few words to her star junior setter. Here's
And the refs
Anthony.
keep the call.
And they keep the call. They rarely overturn it.
Connor Finnegan there to pick up that ball, a little bit over Henry Lindbergh.
Gatling, he's been great, but so is Connor Ho, who comes in. Holman with 2 hands, deflected off McGuire. O'Sullivan gets it over. Holman the response. Anthony O'Sullivan is going to pin the left sideline.
Yeah, just a nicely placed push right there by Anthony O'Sullivan.
The O'Sullivan brothers are truly showing out for Trumbull right now. Kieran, the sophomore, Anthony, the senior, number 7, still serving as the Eagles take the 2-1 lead. And the fan section and the bench for Trumbull aligned in their chants. They are trying to take over the gym right now. O'Sullivan is just going to get the back line. Another point for the Eagles on a perfect serve from him.
Yeah, nicely placed ball by Anthony. Connor just had a little mishap on calling that ball out. Just nicks the back line.
O'Sullivan once again looking to do more damage. Ho to serve. Here comes Holman in. Holman with the much-needed kill that the Rams desperately needed.
Yeah, that's a strong hit to get a little energy going in New Canaan side. We got the bench standing up a little bit. That'll get him fired up for this next point.
(3-2) to score. Trumbull still in the lead, but Boley now serving for New Canaan here in set number 3. This game tied up at 1-1 between these 2 FCIAC rivals. Boley over the other side of the net. It's a violation on New Canaan, though, as it looks like that's going to be called against Anthony O'Sullivan.
Yeah, someone, I think it was Anthony O'Sullivan in the net there. Didn't get away with it that time.
Boley gets it over. O'Sullivan to the other O'Sullivan, cross court. Here comes Holman. Holman blocked up, but it's out of play, and the point goes to the Rams.
Yeah, Holman's able to tool Zielinski right there off the block. Really strong hit from him.
Holman continuing to make highlight plays from the outside, the junior. Axel Boley to serve for New Canaan. Here comes Gatling. Gatling the Boley. Boley underhanded. Cortman a deflection. O'Sullivan gets it over. Connor Ho to Cortman. And they're going to say that's an illegal hit from Ho.
Yeah, no, an illegal hit from Cortman, that is.
Oh.
Yeah, just got called for the double, trying to put that ball over the net.
Got it. My mistake. Derek Zielinski will now serve for Trumbull in this tied 3rd set, 4-4. Cortman this time, a legal hit, and right off the chest of Zielinski.
Yeah, strong hit right through the block right there. Zielinski just couldn't get his hands on that quick enough.
Doug Gillespie will check in for Henry Lindbergh as Connor Finnegan will serve. He's got some tape on his right hand, so a bit of an injury that he's playing through right now. Finnegan puts it over with junior captain. Here's Kieran O'Sullivan, and that one out of play from the sophomore. New Canaan's lead now up to 2 in a third set.
Yeah, just contacted that ball a little bit too low. Doesn't get the spin on it. He needs to put it down in the middle of the court.
Finnegan the serve once again. New Canaan looking to take set number 3 at home. Just gets it over.
Another thing we haven't seen Finnegan do a lot, he likes to dive a lot, and he hasn't done that at all today.
Trying to play collected and smart in this big game. Holman gets it over for the Rams. Here comes Gatling. Gatling can't get it over with his right hand. Not enough arc on that hit.
Yeah. Said a little something to Anthony O'Sullivan there. He said that the set was a little bit too low for him. Gatling can definitely jump out of the gym. He needs his balls up high.
New Canaan back up 3 here in set number 3. Finnegan still serving. McGuire on the ground makes the play. McGuire again off his back foot. Ho over to Holman, and it's another New Canaan violation.
Yeah, I guess Connor got called for a lift on that one. Bit unfortunate.
Coach Nicole Tamolan talking over to Gatling as he'll check out. To serve will be Carlson. Gillespie with his left hand gets it over. Holman responds for New Canaan. Ho with the good set. Here comes Holman. Holman denied. New Canaan scrambling and resettling. And Cortman can't put it over. Trumbull with the point.
Yeah, Dylan just tried to bang that one a little too hard. He wasn't high enough for that. Nice rally between these two teams, though.
Indeed it is. This has been the most back and forth set so far in the early going. Cortman gets it over. This time, no, he does not. Cortman with a couple whacks on that possession to no prevail.
Yeah, Cortman and Axel not as strong on the serve receive positions as Connor Finnegan, so you won't see Trumbull serving to him as much. They'll try to avoid him as much as they can.
Ho comes, here's Cortman. Cortman cross court, and he cannot nick the near sideline in front of a Trumbull bench. The Eagles will take the lead 8-7 here in set number 3.
Yeah, Dylan is trying to go a little bit too cross around the block. Ends up going out of bounds.
This time he'll set it up. Gillespie puts it over, and again another hit trying to go across the court, and they can't put it in play.
Yep, Doug's struggling with what Gatlin was struggling with in the early going of this game. Just tipping the ball a little bit too far to the cross.
Here's Carlson as Trumbull is on a roll. Oh, pops it up to Holman. Holman trying to provide some momentum. Boley is under it. Here's Cortman. Cortman to Kieran O'Sullivan. Carlson now to Kieran O'Sullivan. And he cannot make the play as his brother will get in his head and give him some words of encouragement. New Canaan with their 8th point here in set number 3. Matt Holman will serve for New Canaan. He gets it over.
Strong float serve from Holman.
McGuire in the front row. And it will go right back to Trumbull.
Yeah, McGuire may have surprised New Canaan there, hitting from the middle. I don't know if New Canaan expected that.
But McGuire comes from his usual outside position to inside, makes the play. Trumbull back up 2. The captain will serve, and he will serve well. Number 20, Anthony DiSabella. Trumbull now up 3.
Trumbull getting a lot of momentum off that ace by DiSabella.
He'll look to get another one as he just checked right back in. Boley's there this time around. Holman off his back foot. O'Sullivan to McGuire. McGuire's blocked up. Ho cross court to Cortman. Cortman gets the kill. New Canaan back to within 2.
Nice back and forth between the two teams, and Cortman's able to put it away.
Cortman will now go back and serve. The score 11-9. Trumbull in the lead of his 3rd set in the FCIAC semifinals. Again, the winner will play Darien on the road at Darien on Friday for the FCIAC Championship. Ho to the back row. Anthony O'Sullivan, a beautiful hit with the right hand for the kill.
Yeah, and that's a lefty setter there, so he's putting that over with his right hand. Very impressive, showing off the ambidextrous movements.
That he is, Anthony O'Sullivan, just like his younger brother, keeping Trumbull in the lead here in set number 3 with their great play. Here's McGuire with the serve. Mishandled by Axel Boley right in his grill, and he couldn't get a good hit on it.
Yeah, he was doubting whether that ball was going to be in or out. Made the decision too late and got his hands on it a little bit awkwardly.
Trumbull now up 4, getting their 13th point of the third set. Coach Amy Warren will use her first time out of the third set to try to get her boys regrouped. New Canaan has played really well here in set number 3, but Trumbull's just been playing better. And now they're finally starting to get a little bit of momentum and break the back and forth.
New Canaan's had a few miss-ups off the serve receive. As you've seen last time, Axel just hitting it out of bounds. There we have a nice hit from Homan. Here we have Trumbull struggling. McGuire is able to get an aggressive ball over. A nice roll shot from Homan back over the net. Anthony O'Sullivan's able to set up Gatling, but it's blocked by Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Here you have a nice hit from McGuire. Still a soft block off of Connor Ho. Sets up Dylan Corbin, and Dylan's able to put it down.
And Gavin, tell me a little bit about your volleyball journey here at the high school. Did your older brother, Aiden, play in the program?
No, Aiden never played. I was in the library one day, and Ben Fishman, right over there, sitting in the crowd, came up to me and he said, "I hear you're thinking about playing volleyball this year." And I gave him the excuse that I've heard so many times as I've tried to recruit guys. I said, "You know what, I was thinking about it, but I think I might just lift this spring."
Yep.
And he said, "No, I think you'd really like it." So I came out to tryouts, and then I never looked back.
Wow.
Made varsity as a freshman, played JV, of course. And then my sophomore year, we really took off. I got a lot of minutes on the varsity as Doug had a nice hit right there. And then my junior year, I decided to play club. I decided to leave the basketball team for one winter and got a lot better that season. It's a shame that we missed out on our season last year. We had a great squad going into it, so it's just a shame that we never got to see what would have happened last year.
Here's Homan getting it over. Anthony O'Sullivan, the turnaround kill. Trumbull goes up 14-10 here in set number 3 off a timeout from New Canaan.
Yeah, that is the advantage of being a lefty setter right there. If you're right side to the net, he can just turn his body easily, bounce the ball straight down with his left hand.
Now serving number 28, Ben Leeds, the junior. Looking to extend the Eagles' lead to 5 here in the third set.
Nice
Dylan
pass by
Cortman.
Dylan.
Henry Lindbergh with a snipe right down the middle.
Right around Gatling. Dylan has had a nice pass off the serve, and Henry's able to side out for the team right there. A little bit more volleyball terminology for you, Ian. A side out.
Keep bringing it going.
A side out is when your team is getting served out and you win off that point. So you win the serve back in terms siding out. You'll hear coaches and players say that a lot.
Please, Gavin, continue bringing the excellent commentary. You'd think you'd be doing this all year for us as Trumbull gets the point, but this is just your rookie debut, and just like you did as a freshman playing varsity, you've worked your way up to the big leagues quite quickly, and you're doing a great job right now, my friend.
I have. It is an honor to be sitting here next to the Ian Nicholas.
Oh, come on.
Who has commentated on so many New Canaan games. Picked up lacrosse this year after knowing nothing of the sport.
Yes.
And he's done a great job, really. If you saw him in the Wilton game, you did a great job. You and Carter Ellis helped alongside. That's sort of the dynamic we have going right here, isn't it?
You know, we had the Ian Nicholas Carter Ellis duo, and people weren't sure about it. But you know, it was all crafted in that poetry class with Mr. Michael McAteer.
It was indeed.
Let's bring it back to the game, though, as New Canaan is going to get the point after Kieran O'Sullivan couldn't get a clean hit. New Canaan back to within 4 points here. They still trail in the third set.
And here we have George Radoslavo checking into the game for the first time.
And you were disappointed he didn't get to start today. He's a difference maker in the middle.
Oh, definitely. He's a lot taller than Henry. Henry's a great middle, but he's a natural outside. George picked up the position in middle this year, and he has been great for our team. Been a huge key to our success.
Here's Gatling to Finnegan. And before Holman could respond, a violation on New Canaan, and it is on Finnegan.
Yep, we had a little double there. Finnegan is not able to get his hands on that ball cleanly and set up a hitters.
Trumbull goes back up 5 here in set number 3, looking to win their second straight set and go up 2-1. Ho finds Holman. Holman a whack and a block from Trumbull. Whistle is blown, and it is a violation on number...
That is Gatling in the net?
Gatling, number 14, and that point will be awarded to New Canaan as Gillespie is going to check in, and Radislavo goes right back to the bench.
I think we'll see George getting back into this rotation a little bit more from here on out.
They can certainly use his length and his impact in the middle. Speaking of impact, there's an impact play from number 23, Brendan McGuire. Trumbull goes back up 5, their 18th point here of set number 3.
In the last outing between New Canaan and Trumbull, I don't think McGuire was playing outside for them. I think he was on the bench, and he's been a difference maker in this game for sure.
Here's the libero, Hank Carlson, to serve. Gillespie puts it over. McGuire looking for more, and he gets it. McGuire starting to take over late in set number 3. Trumbull up 6, pulling away.
It's always impressive when you get an out-of-system ball kill. So also some more volleyball terminology for you.
Yes.
Out-of-system is when your setter takes the first ball, so that way your libero or someone else on the team is forced to set. Your setter can't set himself. Nice hit. Nice hit from Holman. Sorry to cut you off there.
That one was in the system, I guess you could say.
Oh, definitely.
Trying to create terminology of my own. Holman gets the kill. Pulls it back to within 5 for New Canaan. This is a critical time for the Rams right now if they want to really have a chance in this set.
Yeah, they got to go on a little run here before Trumbull gets too many points.
Here comes McGuire in the middle. Blocked up by Cortman and Gillespie.
Yeah, that was a nice, strong block by Gillespie. So McGuire's might not have the middle discipline to hit around the block there. He's trying to hit like an outside. You can't hit like an outside in the middle.
Holman will serve. New Canaan just getting their 15th point here of the third set, and he does not get it over. Tough break for the Rams.
Yeah, an untimely mistake from Holman. You hate to see missed serves or shank passes in late in the sets.
Captain Anthony Desabella will check in for the Eagles, checking out the sophomore Kieran O'Sullivan.
Anthony O'Sullivan back in the front row, so Trumbull will only have 2 hitters, a middle and an outside.
Gillespie gets it over for New Canaan. McGuire comes in, makes the play, gets it over. Here's Cortman from the outside. It nearly went over the net for Trumbull. They'll have to play it again.
A free ball for New Canaan here. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Cortman gets it over to Zielinski. McGuire again, blocked up, right back to Trumbull.
Connor got some nice hands on that ball.
Cutter, a whack, and it does not nick the back line. Looking for a deflection call, and the Eagles won't get it.
Yep, no one from New Canaan's looking to fess up to that one. It looks like it was clean. Point New Canaan.
Some energy returning to the New Canaan fan section. Here's Dylan Cortman with the serve.
A little bit of an overpass.
Too much on that pass, as you mentioned, from the libero, Carlson. Couldn't find O'Sullivan. New Canaan looking to put together a run. Pulling to within 3 here in set number 3. Cortman serves. Anthony O'Sullivan, the turnaround. And another pretty one moving from right to left.
Yeah, strong tip by him. No one in New Canaan's front row is really expecting that ball to come over on the second touch. So Anthony's just able to put it over and down. Also, when you're as tall as him, that's not that difficult.
No, making it look easy with that size. Bad serve from McGuire. It will go back to New Canaan. They're still only down 3 here in the third set. Another chance to try to get back into it and steal this one from Trumbull. Finnegan will check out. Radislavo will check back in. Gillespie serves. O'Sullivan puts it up for Cutter. Cutter floats it up and gets the kill.
Yeah, you see New Canaan struggling when Finnegan's out for that 1 point. It definitely has a weak serve receive for them.
Checking back in, the senior Sage Gatling for Trumbull, and serving will be Ben Leeds. Trumbull now at 22 points on the set, 3 away from a second straight set victory. Here comes Bully. Bully comes in like a hawk and gets the kill.
Yeah, Bully's able to tool Trumbull's block straight down. Trumbull just hasn't pushed over on the block. Anthony or Gatling couldn't get a good touch on that one, and Bully's able to get the kill.
A great back and forth finish it will be to this third set. Ho will serve. Decibella puts it up. Gatling. Finnegan
Beautiful
gets
dig
low.
by Finney. First team all FCIAC and showing you why.
Yes, Axel Boley gets it over. McGuire from the back row. Ho in the air. Set by Finnegan. Blocked up on the hit from Holman. Here comes McGuire again.
New Canaan out of system. Finnegan sets up Holman.
Holman blocked in the face of Ho. He puts it up. Oh, and a beautiful response from Trumbull as Gatling blocks it up. And a great defensive effort from him.
Yep, Gatling just a little bit too tall for Holman on that one.
Yep. And something to keep an eye out for as Doug Gillespie went to the athletic trainer and requested for an ice pack so he could be hampered and bogged down by a knee injury.
That could be dangerous. But we still have Henry Lindbergh, or New Canaan still has Henry Lindbergh.
Yes, they do. New Canaan can't keep track of that one. Trumbull now 1 point away from taking their second straight set and going up 2-1. 24-19 your score. Anthony O'Sullivan, their captain, will serve. As Trumbull making a ruckus here.
Trumbull's got 3 front row hitters as Anthony's in the back row.
And an illegal hit from Connor Finnegan. And that will end the third set as Trumbull has now taken a 2-1 lead in this game. What a great game it is becoming. New Canaan losing that set, I believe, by a score of 25-19. We're going to take a quick break here in the end of set number 3 as we head into set number 4, and we'll be back in just a few moments, about 2.5 minutes away from the 4th set beginning. Will Trumbull close out New Canaan and advance to the FCIAC Championship game, or will New Canaan come back, win the next 2 sets, and play their arch rival Darien then? We'll see you in a moment. Coming to you back from New Canaan High School, Ian Nicholas alongside the rest of the NCTV 78 crew, bringing you the live action of this FCIAC Semifinals game of boys volleyball between the 2 seed, the New Canaan Rams, and the 3 seed, the Trumbull Eagles. Trumbull up 2-1 right now. My color commentator throughout this game, the senior captain of this New Canaan team, Gavin Bramlett, who is out for the rest of the season with a broken leg. He did a great job for the first 3 sets, but he's a team-first player like always, and he's returned to the sidelines to try to help coach up his boys and get them a win. And Austin Platt has joined me on the call here for the final 1 to 2 sets of this game, as Anthony O'Sullivan cannot put it over the net, and New Canaan will go up 1-0 to start set number 4.
Not the start you want if you're Trumbull up. You get that big third set, a key one at that. You're 1 set away, and you don't want to fault in the very first point of this set.
O'Sullivan, a Gatling to Lindbergh. Behind the back, Finnegan, Homan blocked up. Ho keeps it alive. And an illegal hit on New Canaan's Connor Finnegan will tie this up at 1-1.
Got to give a lot of credit to the left side of the blocking crew for the Trumbull Eagles, really eliminating Homan the best they can.
Here's Zielinski putting it over on the serve for Trumbull. Ho to Radislavo, checking back into the game. Cross court to McGuire. New Canaan responds well defensively. Here's Homan, the kill! And New Canaan retakes the lead early in the 4th set. Coach Amy Warren feeling the energy.
That's a really good adjustment from Coach Amy Warren and this NC staff, putting Homan on the left side as he is a lefty and putting George Radislavov, the senior, in the middle. 2 big left-handed shots that they have, and they have a 2-1 lead.
Axel Boley serves for New Canaan. Here's Gatling, blocked up, and the libero. Carlson couldn't make anything happen for Trumbull, looking for a call that they will not get. And New Canaan now up 3-1 here, looking to tie this game up at 2-2 after 4 sets. That's their game plan.
Gatling's been such a huge problem for New Canaan, and you've seen the Rams put both George Radislavov and Matt Holman right in the middle to try and block as many of his efforts.
O'Sullivan to McGuire. McGuire cannot get it over. Too many hits for Trumbull, and New Canaan is just up big thanks to too many mistakes from the Eagles.
Yeah, Coach Amy Warren's really finding the right personnel for her squad, as of course they need to win the next 2 sets. They want to advance the chip.
Here's Kieran O'Sullivan making up for some mistakes on Trumbull's end, and then Matt Homan gets the kill as the block does not pay off for Trumbull.
They got a bit lucky there, New Canaan. Bully might have hit that ball. It looked like it might have been going out, but New Canaan gets the point either way, 5-1. They are feeling it.
This is exactly what New Canaan needs to do to start off this 4th set and keep their chances alive. Radislavo and Ho both go in for that one, and it does not stay in play as Coach Warren barking orders to Radislavo.
Yeah, that was certainly not his ball. You want to let whoever's in the back try and take that one.
Yep. Here will be Hank Carlson to serve. Carlson gets it over the libero. Here comes Radislavo, and he comes in too hot. Trumbull, their 3rd point of set number 4. It will be Carlson to serve once again.
Yeah, that was Cutter there, the sophomore, with the key block right in the middle.
Yep. Boley, a low hit. Finnegan dives, makes a great play on it. O'Sullivan to Cutter. Bad hit from Ho. Boley behind the back, and New Canaan responds as Finnegan gets it over the net. Here's Kieran O'Sullivan. Finnegan sets up Holman. And Holman cannot get it alongside the far sideline.
New Canaan was on that back foot the entire point. Both Boley and Finnegan had to make some key plays just to keep them in, and Trumbull deservedly wins that point. And they're right back in this one, 5-4.
Here's Axel Boley off the serve. Holman with the right hand. Anthony O'Sullivan to McGuire. McGuire with the kill. Unsuccessful block from Holman and Radislavo. Trumbull, after a 5-1 start to this set from New Canaan, has scored 4 unanswered to tie it up at 5. Here's Carlson to serve once again. Ho under the net. Radislavo blocked, but Finnegan keeps it alive for the Rams. Holman, another too strong. And Trumbull takes its first lead of the set, and Coach Amy Warren needs a timeout. Trumbull looking to put this game away in 4 sets. Austin, what have you liked from the Eagles over the last few minutes?
Well, you look at just the personnel on the floor, and Trumbull, you could tell, is a much bigger team on paper, you look at the height differential, really favors the Eagles, and it's that much harder for New Canaan to really take advantage of that and exploit a weakness which doesn't exist for Trumbull, and really for the spikes that they go for, whether it be Homan, you really just can't get the right angle because either it's going to be a block and it's going to come right back on your side for a point, or it's going to go flying out, as we saw there for Homan. So really difficult for a smaller team like New Canaan to take advantage, and they've really been playing defense a lot of this match despite taking that first set. And the Trumbull Eagles, certainly, they had the same record as New Canaan in the regular season, but just because New Canaan won that lone regular season meeting, that was at Trumbull's place. That's the only reason why this game is here. But really 2 evenly matched teams, and through the first 3+ sets, it's been exactly that way, very close.
Coach Trommelin trying to get her Trumbull Eagles to a 4-set victory over New Canaan to advance to the FCIAC Championship game on Friday to play Darien. Henry Lindbergh's looking to get there as well, and he will get the kill to tie it up at 6-6. Doug Gillespie, who's been nursing a bit of a knee injury through this game, will check in for Radislava.
That was smart there from Lindbergh, the senior. Both Cutter and O'Sullivan were going up for the block, so he just placed it right in the middle of the 2 of them and won the point.
New Canaan again will get another point and go up 7-6. In this 4th set, Finnegan will serve. Cutter on the move. Behind the back, McGuire. Homan off the back foot. Anthony O'Sullivan under it. Gets it to his brother, Kieran. Henry Lindbergh on the outside, and he does get that back line, and he does get the kill to give New Canaan a 2-point lead.
I think the Rams are looking for a deflection there. That's why I believe it was Finnegan was pointing up, looking for a deflection. I think that's the reason why they won that point, as that ball did sail long, but the deflection gives the Rams a point, and they lead once again 8-6. Finnegan to serve, and a beauty right there.
And make it 3-point lead for New Canaan. And now a timeout from Coach Trommelin, as her team had the momentum heading into the Amy Warren timeout, and now she needs to regroup her Eagles if they want to close this game out in 4 sets. New Canaan now getting much more aggressive and amping up the intensity.
Yeah, you see McGuire there, number 23 in the middle of that huddle. He's frustrated with himself as that serve came right to him, really an unforced error from him. And back and forth in this 4th set, New Canaan had the lead, and then Trumbull came back. The Rams have responded with 3 of their own since that timeout, and now Trumbull's going to have to talk things over.
That they will. Both of these teams, as we've mentioned throughout the broadcast, met earlier in the year. They played a 5-set game in Trumbull that New Canaan won. That was a game where Gavin went down with his injury, and New Canaan rallied behind their injured star to pick up the win. Now here in FCIAC, New Canaan looking to advance to their first ever FCIAC Championship game. This has been a program that's existed for 11 years at New Canaan High School as a varsity sport for boys volleyball. And Amy Warren building a culture, trying to get her team all the way. Axel Boley on his knees. Homan, the kill that gets right past Derek Zielinski. New Canaan, its 10th point of the set.
Not much you can do if you're Zielinski there on the back line. That ball is coming right to him. Might have been going out, but when you're in the back there, you just got to hit it and hope that your team can respond. The last thing you want to do is watch a ball go in behind you. And New Canaan's really figuring out this very tall Trumbull defense. There's a great block there for New Canaan, number 17, Matthew Homan, right in the middle. Might have gotten some help from the net. 11-6 now for New Canaan, as Axel Boley is going to have a word with Coach Warren, as it will be Connor Finnegan to serve. Cutter going for the spike, block there.
And Axel Boley right in between his own hands. Mental miscue. Trumbull gets their 7th point of the set. They're back to within 4, as they're looking to stay alive and close it out early here from New Canaan.
Yeah, it was a bit of a in-between one there for Axel. He was thinking about going for the set, and then the last second thought maybe you could go for the underhand dig, and instead it came right in between his fingertips.
Holman, the powerful shot, and the point will go to New Canaan off an illegal hit from Trumbull. Derek Zielinski trying to respond from the back row. And Holman, after his great kill, will now serve. New Canaan back up 5.
That's a really tough job there for Zielinski, being in charge of trying to hit back any of Holman's powerful spikes so far.
Cutter gets it over for Trumbull, and Trumbull scrambling. Anthony O'Sullivan gets it over. Here's Lindbergh from the outside. He's blocked by Cutter and Anthony O'Sullivan. Trumbull, a much-needed momentum point.
What a point there. That ball hit the net, but of course, they can still keep it alive. That was McGuire who did well for the dig, and then they won the next point on the next possession. They won the point on the next possession, and they're keeping themselves in it. Trumbull just down by 4.
Gillespie to the libero. Carlson. And a really strong hit from number 9, Nick Peskovitz. Trumbull back to within 3, and it will be number 23, Brendan McGuire, as you see right there, to serve. He puts it up and over. Connor Ho moving to his left. Lindbergh just gets it over, but an illegal hit from him. And Trumbull gets their 10th point, and are only down 2 here in the 4th set.
Yeah, it was a tough shot there for Lindbergh. He was nearly about to go out of bounds, and that ball was about to go outside of the poles on the net, and that made it that much harder for him to get it over.
Oh, cross court to Lindbergh, and it does not get the back line, it seems, and officially it is Trumbull's 11th point of the set. They are really rebounding in a strong way right now, looking to win 3-1 instead of going into a 5-set game.
Yeah, Coach Warren telling her guys to communicate a bit more.
Lindbergh underhanded. Ho scrambles. Lindbergh gets it over on the cross-court hit. O'Sullivan to number 9, Nick Peskovitz, tied up at 12. Here from the NCHS Gym, we are in the 4th set.
What a great addition off the bench. Peskovitz, haven't said his name too much all night, but in the couple points he's been on, he's made his impact.
Bad hit from Boley, nearly hits his teammate Nick Lamone on the bench. And Trumbull is now taking the lead. They're on a 6-0 run. They were down 12-7 at one point. Now it's 13-12 here in the 4th set. McGuire gets it over. Over to Lindbergh. Lindbergh too close to the net. Can't get it up. Trumbull up 2. The crowd is static for the traveling Trumbull Eagles.
Yeah, it was a tough angle there for Lindbergh, and all started with that set from Boley. Didn't quite set up Finnegan well, which made Lindbergh's attempt that much harder.
Gillespie, a bad bounce at the top of the net. Lindbergh with 2 hands calmly gets it over. Here comes Peskovitz. Peskovitz, another kill. Holman couldn't make the play. No response for New Canaan as Trumbull clicking on all cylinders, and Coach Amy Warren needs to call time. Her team trails 3 here in the 4th set. Again, the winner will advance to the FCIAC Championship game on Friday, where they will play the winner, they will play Darien, the 1 seed. Been a wonderful game here, Austin. Trumbull starting to run away with it. Take us through some of these highlights.
Yeah, really a dominated first couple of moments. There's the spike there from Holman that deflected off one of the Eagles for a New Canaan point. And then that was the bad set there from Axel Boy, went right between his fingers. This is the start of his Trumbull comeback. This was an incredible point as Holman spiked it, but it came back over. But it was a New Canaan point in the end. That was a great adjustment there by Cutter. And that was the great point where Cutter made an adjustment, and then that ball went off the net, and McGuire scooped it back up and allowed his team to get another possession, which they capitalized on. And time's starting to run out for the New Canaan Rams, the 2 seed in this tournament. An incredible journey it has been thus far, but they really got to get something going here. Down 2-1, and have lost, I believe, 8 points in a row, if my math.
That they have. They were down 12-7 at one point. Good work. Mathematician but that run is now over. Matt Holman is going to bring some life to New Canaan. Henry Lindbergh will serve. The Rams only down 2 here in the 4th set. They need to win it to make it to a 5th set and keep their chances in this game alive. McGuire puts it up. Anthony O'Sullivan over to Peskovitz. He's been great in this 4th set. Here's Holman from the near sideline, deflecting off Anthony O'Sullivan. Back-to-back points generated by Holman.
Yeah, it's a really good adjustment there from Coach Amy Warren. You see Holman usually a lot closer than that going for spikes, but now Coach Warren has moved him back a little bit, which creates a better angle, which makes it harder for the blockers up front for Trumbull to try and prevent that ball from going over. And 2 straight successful spikes from Holman. New Canaan's back in the set.
Here's Peskovitz. Back to Holman. At the net, Anthony O'Sullivan with a good effort, but he did not pin that near sideline. Looking for a deflection call, which they will not get. New Canaan now with 3 straight points, and they've tied it up at 15.
Yeah, the Eagles are visibly frustrated there, and you can see when Holman spikes the ball now, his foot is just behind that white line, if you can see it on the
Axel
court.
Foley will get the kill, the All-FCIAC honorable mention. Making plays. Rams up 1. Here comes Cutter. Cutter, the left hand, and another smooth hit from the sophomore.
Great little drop shot there from Cutter, certainly very deceiving as he just pops it right over out of the reach of Connor Finnegan.
Yep, the junior captain, the libero. Here serving is Ben Leeds as Trumbull will serve once again, and they knew it was going out. 17-16, New Canaan back in the lead as Cutter checks in for Leeds. Doug Gillespie, fighting through a knee injury, will serve for New Canaan as Connor Finnegan will check out, and George Radislavov, the senior, comes back in on the front line. Here comes Peskovitz. And that's a kill for him. As that ball goes out of play off a New Canaan player, and it's tied once again. Anthony O'Sullivan serves for Trumbull. Trumbull looking to close this game out at 4 sets, but New Canaan will not go away easily as the 2 seed.
Yeah, O'Sullivan checks back in for the Eagles, the sophomores. Look like we're gonna have a little court cleanup here. Shoes starting to get a little squeaky, and of course you don't want to create a bad environment.
And then the senior captain and our former broadcast partner, Gavin Bramwood, giving some words to Connor Ho. Here's Anthony O'Sullivan to serve. Tied up at 17. And O'Sullivan is going to get the back line for Trumbull, and they'll take the lead.
Wow, that was awfully close to the line. We do not have the best angle, of course, sitting on the other side of the stands near the cameras, but that looked like it might have gone out, but the referee is right there on the scene.
Makes the call. Controversial, but he has to make it. Really good effort from Holman to keep it alive off a strong hit from Trumbull. Behind the back from Boley and trying to push it to the net. McGuire, not enough power.
It's a really good play there from Axel Boley. It was that 3rd touch, so he needed to get it over and just placed it perfectly, and the ball was deflected back, and McGuire tried to get it over on the 2nd hit. Really poor move there from the senior. Had another chance to pass to a teammate who could have gotten it over, but 18-all in this 4th set.
Connor Ho serves for New Canaan. McGuire puts it over for Trumbull. Holman with 2 hands. O'Sullivan with 2 hands of his own. Here comes McGuire from the back row, and another miscue from the senior captain. New Canaan will go up 19-18, and Coach Trommelin needs a timeout. New Canaan 6 points away from evening it up at 2-2. These 2 teams met earlier in the year. They went to 5 sets then. Will they go to 5 sets again here nearly a month later in the FCIAC tournament? That is a question. Thank you so much for watching from home. Ian Nicholas, Austin Platt, and the rest of the NCTV 78 crew bringing you the live action. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you're a fan of New Canaan High School athletics. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at NCTV 78 as well. Austin, what are your takeaways right now for both teams. Really, I'll just put you on a more specific path. What does New Canaan need to do to ensure a set 4 victory in the closing moments here?
They have to exploit that. The advantage that they have is that they can hit the ball from the back more and go for the spikes that, like we've seen with Homan. He's not spiking it from the front of the net. He's moving back more, and that creates a tougher angle as the ball's going to dip more. And when the Rams come up front and get a lot closer, they usually go for 2 hands and just pop it over, go for more location rather than power.
Here's Gatling. He's been quiet recently. Ho comes up, makes the play, puts it over. Whacked and responding is New Canaan on the block from Peskovitz. Or excuse me, Zielinski, number 2. Here's Homan. Homan denied by Gatling. Trumbull ties it up at 19 off a timeout.
That's the issue you run when Holman begins his spike in front of that white line. Usually they got 2 Eagles there ready to pounce right on it. That's exactly what they did there.
Zielinski with the serve for Trumbull in this tied 4th set. Holman blocked up. Finnegan with the left hand keeps it up. Holman now with 2 hands. Anthony O'Sullivan cross court to McGuire. Deflected off a New Canaan player, and Trumbull retakes the lead. 20-19.
McGuire had a tough couple of points before that timeout, but he has certainly rebounded, making sure to not hang his head or anything, as he knows these next couple of points are crucial. As Trumbull leads by 1, they just need 5 more points to punch that ticket to the championship.
That they do. Ho to Radislavo. Will it clip the back line? Yes, it will. Radislavo makes his first big play of the evening, tying it up at 20.
Yeah, Carlson and McGuire there were cheating a little bit, moving a bit too far in, and Radislavov, the senior, saw that and placed it perfectly as it clipped the back tape. And we got 2020. A year that we will certainly not want to remember, and that's a serve that Boley's not going to want to remember as he hits that one out.
Well, now the score 21-20. Trumbull will serve. It's Hank Carlson looking to close this game out for the Eagles. Too much power, maybe a little over-emotional. Looking for a deflection call, but Matt Holman and company don't get it. Trumbull a 2-point lead and 3 points away from, as Austin said, punching their ticket to the FCIAC Championship game on Friday. Here's Carlson. Carlson can't get it over. New Canaan's going to be gifted an opportunity, now down 1. And their junior captain, the All-FCIAC first-team libero, Colin Finnegan to serve. Excuse me, not Colin, Connor Finnegan.
As you see, Douglas Gillespie coming off the bench trying to fire this team up after getting a free pass with the missed serve.
McGuire puts it over for Trumbull. Here's Lindbergh. Neither team trying to make a mistake, taking the easy hits. Could be a rally developing as Anthony O'Sullivan gets it over for the Eagles. Holman with his left hand. O'Sullivan to McGuire. Holman underhanded. Here comes Holman. Holman the kill! Tied back up at 22.
Talk about patience on that point. We didn't see one spike until the very end. Very cautious playing on both sides. Neither wants to make a mistake, and now we have 22s apiece.
Here's McGuire in front of the net. Lindbergh responds defensively. Here's Holman looking for another. He gets it. New Canaan takes the lead by 1, 2 points away from keeping their chances alive in this game and bringing it to a full 5 sets here from New Canaan High.
This is where the nerves kick in for the Eagles. You can tell that no one wants to spike the ball over and make a mistake, and that might come back to cost them in this 4th set as they trail by 1.
Cutter blocked by Holman. The junior can't be stopped. Coach Trommelin trying to pump up her Eagles as New Canaan is 1 point away from a set 4 win.
You can tell the way Cutter hit that, the sophomore. He was just not confident in the way he stroked that ball. And now New Canaan 1 point away.
Anthony O'Sullivan puts it up for McGuire, going for it all. Too much, and New Canaan will win set number 4 and give themselves a chance to win this game and advance to the FCIAC Championship. Let's see what set number 5 will bring. Both of these teams now, or I should say in both of these meetings between these two teams this year, it will go to 5 sets. Can New Canaan trample the Trumbull Eagles for the second time this year? Let's look at those highlights from set number 4, Austin. There were plenty of them to sift through.
Nice spike there from Axel Boley, whose position's kind of been changed throughout the night. We've seen him more towards the front of the net. Nice block there from the front of New Canaan, but that ball did sail out right near us for a Trumbull point. Another Axel Boley spike that was initially blocked, and New Canaan went on to win that point. And then Matt Homan really started to heat up. You see a mistake there from him, but he found it. And here's the middle of that game where Trumbull really started finding their stride. That ball from Radislav clipped the back of the tape for a New Canaan point. And here is Matt Homan just lighting it up at the end. Some good digs from New Canaan. And they've been setting up the junior all night long. And that was that spike near the end of the set. And then New Canaan went on to win a tight one. I believe 25-22 was the final score of that one.
That it was. New Canaan pulling away late to get that set number 4 victory, keep their chances, the FCIAC Championship alive. It's been a great game here from New Canaan High School. Both teams on a 4-game winning streak. One will be snapped, and one team's FCIAC tournament bid will be over in the semifinals after the 5th set.
Huge for New Canaan here to get this crowd back into this one. It seems like all the noise that's being made is on the Trumbull away side, who've certainly brought plenty of traveling fans to root on their team. And you haven't really heard that New Canaan bomb squad really starting to make some noise. And now's the time, of course. 5th set in an FCIAC semifinal. This is exactly what you want.
Yep.
Second 5-set meeting between the two this year. Of course, New Canaan won in the regular season, one of the craziest matches they will probably ever go through in the program, considering what happened early with the Gavin Bramwood broken leg. Great to see him back on his feet.
Yep, back for his second game. Now supporting his team from the sidelines. Was an all-FCIAC first-team caliber player on the court. It's pretty crazy to see what New Canaan's been able to do without arguably their best player for half of this year, as they look to make it to their first ever FCIAC Championship game. Coach Amy Warren in her 4th year here at New Canaan High School. The team's just gotten better and better every single year. Can they make the next leap? Let's see what the 5th set will bring. Anthony O'Sullivan will serve for Trumbull to get things going. Here's Axel Boley. Boley off a deflection. Anthony O'Sullivan will get it over for the Eagles. Connor Ho to Radislavo, and he gets the kill. McGuire on the floor, can't make the play.
Gatling just got a fingertip on it, which made it that much harder for McGuire to dive down and try and dig that ball up. New Canaan with the first point. You see their heavy hitters are on the floor at the moment.
Gatling with verticality in the kill, pinning the near sideline. It's tied up at 1.
That's what we saw in the 2nd and 3rd set, and really the first one as well. Gatling with that huge vertical. So tough to block any of his spikes. And an errant serve there from the Eagles. That was Zielinski, the senior, as that one flew way out of the court. That's something you really got to avoid in this 5th set. Any mistakes, especially the ones that are unenforced.
McGuire blocked up by New Canaan. New Canaan up 2-1. Lindbergh back row. Good response, but an illegal hit for Trumbull from number 2, Derek Zielinski. And the Rams extend their lead to 2, bringing some energy to their fan section. Axel Boley to serve. He gets it over. And an illegal hit from New Canaan's own number 2, Connor Finnegan. Cutter will check in for Gatling. And a libero, Carlson, will serve for the Eagles down 1 here in the early 5th set. He gets it over. Boley puts it up. Here comes Homan. Homan, too much, right in front of the backline referee. It's tied up at 3. And no, we're going to say it's a deflection. They're disputing the call.
Yeah, there's some miscommunication. The referee on the backside in the corner on the other side of where the camera is now said that he didn't see a deflection, but the head referee
and the sign referee closest to us say deflection call. So it's going to be 4-2 New Canaan. Again, the backline judge said it was Trumbull's point, but both the refs near the net said a deflection on Trumbull, and it's a kill for Holman. And Finnegan will now serve with the Rams up 2.
Guess it's a democracy here, 2-1 wins.
2-1, the majority rule. Anthony O'Sullivan behind the back from Cutter. Here comes Holman again, a weird hit, and Marvin just weird illegal. And Trumbull gets the point. And they're only down 1 as Desabella comes in for Kieran O'Sullivan, and he will serve the captain.
That's a key point there for Trumbull. It would have been very easy for that call, which they feel like did not go in their favor, to really derail them, as there's a really bad serve. Goes out from Desabella, the senior. Can't be giving those free points away. I believe that's 2 missed serves in this set for Trumbull, as it's 5-3 in favor of the Rams. A bit of a scoreboard issue there.
Here comes McGuire. McGuire, a good hit and a good response from Finnegan. Blocked up the hit from Lindbergh. O'Sullivan moving left to right with 2 hands. Hull brings it down. Good response from Desabella getting on the floor. McGuire, a great hit to keep it up on the response from. Hard to keep track of everything going on right now. Cutter does not get the kill. The back line ref says it did not get that outside sideline. And a timeout will be called from Coach Nicole Trommel, and a couple of questionable calls going against her team right now, Austin. And she finds herself down 3 points in the 5th set.
Yeah, she's definitely saying something like, can't worry about that call. Even if they didn't feel like it goes in our favor, you can't let one call derail you, especially still so early in this 5th set. 6-3 in favor of the Rams. But New Canaan's made some really good adjustments in this one. Coach Amy Warren on the other side really amped up in the huddle, as you see there.
Yeah.
Really feeling it for this New Canaan team, which would be huge if they could reach the FCIAC Championship.
6-3 is your score. New Canaan, the 3-point lead. Trumbull using the timeout, trying to get resettled. The winner has a date with number 1 seed Darien on Friday at DHS for the championship game for the Fairfield County Interscholastic Athletic Conference. Matt Holman will serve, trying to keep the lead with the Rams. And a bad hit from the libero, Carlson. And it's up to 4 as Coach Amy Warren looks like one of the players. She is not one to hide her excitement. And she's up 4 right now. Holman still serving. Back to the libero, Carlson. Here comes McGuire. And a misfire from Axel Boley. And a beautiful hit from McGuire put him in a tough spot.
Yeah, really tough angle there for Axel if you wanted to redirect that ball. That was a really good hit there from McGuire. As checking out is Zielinski, who's made quite the impact off the bench, but he will take a seat.
McGuire will serve. Boley with the first touch for New Canaan. Lindbergh, McGuire responds near the floor. Zielinski, or excuse me, not Zielinski. Trumbull gets the point. Back to within 2 here in set number 5 with their 5th point.
Yeah, they're going to say that touch, it was pushed over and not a proper touch.
Yep. Here comes Gillespie. Gillespie blocked by Cutter. Holman, a strike right down Broadway. 8th point for New Canaan of the set. It comes from a kill on Matt Holman's end.
I'm telling you, Ian, I could go right there right now with a piece of tape and mark an X where they exactly won Holman every single time he spikes the ball right behind that white line in the corner.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they want, that right foot of his. As soon as he spikes it, he's been unstoppable from that point.
That he has. Trumbull looking to respond with their own kill. Anthony O'Sullivan right in the middle of the net. Here comes Holman. The left hand popping it up. O'Sullivan gracing it over. Connor Ho responding. Back row, Henry Lindbergh. Ho setting up Holman right from his spot. And the point will go to Trumbull after an illegal touch on New Canaan. Ho is perplexed by the call. It looks like it's against Gillespie, number 23.
Not sure what that call was.
Not me neither.
That's why we need Gavin back up here, but we'll let him cheer on his boys.
That we will. This would be such a big win for this program, as checking out for a moment to get the ball was number 9, Nick Peskovitz. And he will get it for his new server, Ben Leeds. New Canaan up 2. And a bad serve from Leeds, that is. And now New Canaan up 3. 16 points away are the Rams from advancing to the title game.
Yeah, it's the second time that Leeds has missed a serve and then immediately be put on the bench as he has his hands over his face. You can't watch it as New Canaan returns the favor with a
bad serve of their own.
It can't happen. That's the worst feeling in sports. You get a gift and then you give it right back, but going back, Leeds twice feels like he's been on just for the serves and has missed 2 of them. But Trumbull does get the serve.
Here's Radislavo. Good response from McGuire. Maybe not good enough. It's out of play, and Radislavo's amped. He's had his miscues today. That one, not one of them, as New Canaan nabs their 10th point of the 5th set. Looking to pull off a comeback win. Connor Ho will serve. Here comes McGuire with 2 hands. Ho with the setup. Holman misfires on the strike, and it whacks the middle of the net. Trumbull gets their 8th point of the set.
Yeah, that ball was a bit too close to him, which made it hard as a lefty to try and get around it, which is why that ball went right into the bottom of the net. Trumbull's keeping themselves in it despite all of the errors they've created for themselves, just down by 2 at 10-8. Radislavov with the spike, and that one is deflected out by Carlson. And the senior, Radislavov, number 13, is certainly hyped. He's made a couple of big plays in this 5th set as the Rams lead 11-8 with Axel Boley to serve.
Boley serves, 11-8 to score. Here comes McGuire off the back foot. Ho responds. Holman blocked. Finnegan pops it back up for Holman. Gets it over the blockers. McGuire, the left hand, kill. Shaking that left hand because it's dangerous. And Trumbull down only now 2.
That's an incredible adjustment there from McGuire, the senior. That ball was going very close to that end marker at the net, and he just made a great adjustment with his hands and went for accuracy and placed it perfectly.
Carlson with the serve for Trumbull. Holman to the back row. Carlson gets there, and now Anthony O'Sullivan gets it over. And then Holman, another kill. No response from the captain, Anthony O'Sullivan.
We get another timeout from Trumbull, I believe, as Coach Amy Warren and the New Canaan Rams are hyped here, and this crowd on their feet cheering on their Rams, who have had their backs against the wall in this one.
Yeah.
Trailed by 3 or 4 at the end of that 4th set, down 2-1, and they have completely turned the tide, up by 3. It's getting close to the midway point of this 5th and final set.
Yeah, New Canaan could have very easily given in late in the 4th set. They were trailing, then rallying, finding a spark of energy. Matt Holman has provided a lot of energy for New Canaan today with his highlight reel plays. And then they have played much better and much more consistent here early in the 5th set. They are 13 points away from advancing to their first ever FCIAC Championship game. Will they knock down the Trumbull Eagles, the 3 seed in this tournament, for the 2nd time this year? It would be the 2nd time they defeated the Eagles in 5 full sets. 2 of the best teams in the league battling it out, trying to pull off another upset on Friday against powerhouse Darien. Here's Finnegan with the serve for the Rams. And another point for New Canaan. Miscommunication in the front of the net for Trumbull as they're trying to fix their issues.
That was O'Sullivan there right in the middle of the net as you blocked that, but that ball went off the net, came right back to him, and of course you can't touch it twice in volleyball, so they had nothing to do but just let it fall. There's a great spike there on the other end. Brendan Cutter, the sophomore, right to Boley, who couldn't do a thing about it. It's a big point as checking in will be DeSabella and checking out will be O'Sullivan. And Ian, I'm kind of surprised that we're seeing Gatling, the senior, still on the bench.
Yeah.
He's been such a force in the first couple of sets with his height, and he just taps that ball over, and it's unstoppable. It's a great adjustment there from New Canaan, and an even better placed ball from Douglas Gillespie. The crowd can really start to feel it now inside the NCHS gym.
That they can.
14-10, the Rams lead with Holman to serve.
14-10 the score, 11 points away from a victory. In the semifinals, in and out of the hands of DeSabella, and then DeSabella rebounds thanks to the assist from his libero from the left hand of DeSabella, and he really earned that point for the Eagles.
Talk about putting the team on your back for 1 point. DeSabella had that bad touch originally, popped it over, and then with his left hand just stuck his forearm out, and that ball went off him, and then I believe it was Gillespie tried to return the favor with the first touch over the net, but it went wide.
McGuire will serve. Lindbergh, the left hand on his back, DeSabella. Finnegan under it. Hoda Gillespie, blocked up by Cutter. Too many hits for New Canaan. Cutter, an excellent block in the middle of the net.
The senior Anthony DeSabella certainly does not want this to be his final FCIAC game of his volleyball career. His last couple of points he has really made a difference. As just like that, Trumbull has halved their deficit from 4-2 as that spike does take a deflection off of New Canaan. A very late call from the refs as Coach Amy Warren is literally sitting on the floor, cannot believe it. Another call as she high-fives Henry Lindbergh. I'm telling you.
You would think she's already clinched her ticket.
Yeah, and the refs are going to talk this one over again. It was a very late call as Holman spiked the ball over. It went out, and they were wondering about it, and that's actually the match. It's the fifth set, so it's 1-15.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
You know, you learn something new every day, Austin.
You really do.
Probably should have known that. And that is it. New Canaan has advanced to the FCIAC Championship game, and it's all over from New Canaan High with a 15-12 game-winning fifth set. Coach Warren and her Rams will go to the championship game for the first time in the 11-year New Canaan High School boys volleyball program history. And they will match up with the Darien Blue Wave for the third time this season. They're 0-2 against the Blue Wave, losing both times in 4 sets. They're going to look to change their fortunes with lucky meeting number 3. That live stream will be on DAF Media as we'll bring it back up to the stands here. Ian Nicholas and Austin Platt on the call for this game. And then Gavin Bramlett, he's huddled up with his team right now in celebration. The senior captain sidelined with an injury, but he will get to see his team advance to the FCIAC Championship game. Austin, over the last 2 sets, what changed for New Canaan?
It was the difference. I mean, Coach Warren finally found the right personnel to put out there. And then the difference, I mean, you got to get your big guy, Matt Holman. They put him at the right spot, moved him back a little bit to create that better angle so that ball dips down a bit more and made it really hard for those tall Trumbull Eagles to block that. As you see Amy Warren giving hugs over there. There's a reason why she was on the ground. She couldn't believe it because they had already won. Apologies for that. We are not volleyball experts.
We try.
But a huge win for New Canada program. Of course, in the spring, you're kind of overshadowed by lacrosse teams, baseball, softball, boys volleyball. It's certainly not the first sport you think of when you think of spring sports, especially New Canaan. But give credit to Coach Amy Warren and this team for battling back. I mean, Trumbull was very, very close to the finish line, but they didn't give up. They showed their grit, and even without their best player, Gavin Bramlett, they will play the Darien Blue Wave for the 3rd time this season, and what a matchup that should be on Friday.
What a matchup it will be indeed. The 1 seed and the 2 seed, Darien and New Canaan, they will meet up in the championship game as head coach Amy Warren is going to run over to her family in the stands and just celebrating as she huddles up with them. And what a great moment it is. definitely. New Canaan will win the FCIAC Championship semifinals. And there we do get the shot as she's going to hug her parents. And finally, after 4 years, she's going to take it home. And she's going to look to really take it home on Friday. I want to thank the entire crew for doing a phenomenal job with this live stream. Emily Fox producing, McKenna Usher and Sydney Sibilia with the camera work. Austin Platt starting on replay, ending on color commentary. Gavin Bramwitt starting as a commentator, ending as a player and a team captain on the sideline. Ian Nicholas signing off. Thank you so much for tuning into our couple of boys volleyball live streams this year. Wish we could have brought you more of their games. DAF Media will bring you their championship game against Darien on Friday, so make sure to like and subscribe to them. That game will probably be simulcast on NCTV 78. Not positive, so make sure you subscribe to both spots to get the live action. Have a great night, everybody. In 5 sets, the New Canaan Rams take down the Trumbull Eagles to advance to their first ever FCIAC Championship.